Let's go. Our beers are getting cold.
I feel like it's been a while since we've been here, actually.
Nah, it's still up there. We're good.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's awesome. Like a little by little? Oh, but it's like a little, it's like a little reminder. I love it.
Thought it was a spider the other day. Terrifying.
Terrified in the middle of the night. Here we go.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Diego and Sam Know Nothing.
The show where we only talk about things we don't know about.
Absolutely. And we're going to kick that off with a couple reviews this week, right? We got...
slow start to the year.
Man, January's got nothing.
January had a top 10 movie, possibly.
What?
For me.
What do you mean? Right off the bat?
Right off the bat.
Oh,
yeah.
Your most anticipated.
The most anticipated turned out to be worth the wait.
Man, I did not. This was not on my radar at all.
I don't think it was on anybody's.
Yeah, so
except mine. What a loser! But I can look back now that everyone's
it's so good, and you're like, I said it here.
I was like, I knew it was
said
gonna be
it
good.
right
I didn't
here.
think it was going to be good. I was just excited to see it.
Yeah, but the fact that it's a good movie. So, in case anyone wants to know what we're talking about, the new Scream. I didn't see it. You went and saw it. To be honest,
opening night.
Not really my cup of tea in general, but you said it was just a good movie.
It was a movie that nobody expected to be good. Like, this movie should have been bad because the 3 other movies they've done have been bad.
Yeah. Aside from the first two.
The first one. Yeah, I mean, aside from the first one that everybody liked.
Sure the first
I
one.
liked them all, but they weren't all good movies because I don't like horror movies. I don't like...
Because this is number 5.
This is number 5.
Okay.
So, this one was just fun. And it was fun because I don't think it was predictable. There was some stuff that was super, like, non-believable, like, that would never happen.
You're like, how could that
whatever.
happen? Yeah.
That's how all movies are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
to some extent, yeah.
Like, the whole time I was like, oh, I know who the killer is. There we go. And I was like, oh, shit, it's not you. And then it was like it was a real good whoodunit.
Yeah, that's hard because
Jack
a lot
Quaid,
of people.
Whoa, man. Get that guy to do some stuff.
Yeah, he's
Melissa Barea.
He's great in The Boys.
She's just
she was the best part of In the Heights.
She was the best part of Walking Down the Street.
Yeah.
She's just great and everything. But yeah, I had a good time. Like, really, really wanted to watch it again.
Right after?
I'm like, yes, let's go.
That's when you know it's good.
It's
so good. So if someone came up to you, though, and said, I knew who it was the whole time.
No, you didn't.
Yeah?
And the few people, which is 3 or 4 that I've talked to, they're like, I never would have guessed.
Oh.
Like, wrote them off right away.
Really?
And I'm like, you can't write anybody off.
In a killer movie?
But I did. I did.
That's good.
And I'm like, whoa.
That's really good.
And I was like, I started to, like, as it progressed, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. No
yeah.
Shot. I said, maybe. Because at the beginning, they do this thing, and they're literally sitting in the room. It's like, yeah, it's one of us. Like, just so everybody knows, like, we're all the main characters in the movie, so, like, it has to be one of us. And as the movie progressed from there, I started to eliminate people. Yeah. And this particular person got less and less as time went on. And I was like, motherfuckers, man. So
what?
Good. Yeah,
that's really good. That's a good one, though. And there's also the risk of when they reveal that you go, like, come on, there's no way. Like, that doesn't make sense, or that was kind of goofy. Like, they put that person in there because they were intentionally misleading you the whole movie. Is that sort of what it was?
Not really.
No? You believed it was like, oh.
Like, I wholeheartedly was like, there's no possible way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that, like, oh, they, like, steered him so wrong that there's no shot it could be them.
Right.
You just legitimately believe that person, like, couldn't kill somebody.
Well, because some movies are like, we're going to intentionally mislead the audience so that you can't guess it.
And they did, but it wasn't dumb.
Okay.
Like, you didn't know that's what they were doing.
Yeah, so that's
You had
awesome.
no idea that that's what they were doing. And then when you found out about this person, it's like flip of a hat.
You're just like,
no. And then
it all makes sense.
Nobody would have guessed.
Okay.
Nobody would have guessed.
All right. That's a good
Definitely
one.
worth the watch. Like, go check it out.
That's a good one.
And it wasn't, like, none of the Screams have been. It's like, we're very, like, graphic. But this one's pretty this one's bloody.
Wow.
This one's a bloody mess.
It's definitely an R.
It's an R, yeah.
Right.
Just for blood alone.
All right.
But worth it.
Well, so before we get into the one thing that
main
you and I are
topic?
both watching.
Yeah.
I wanted to also talk a little bit about Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett, which you are not watching.
I'm not.
You haven't seen Mandalorian either.
I haven't.
But do you have an interest in watching
Yes,
these shows?
but it was one of those things. Like, you have to watch it right now. Watch it right now. Watch it. And I'm like, dude, why is I can't.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
same reason I didn't watch Game of Thrones. Same reason I didn't watch any of the Mockingbird. What's it?
Dang, you said that and it ruined everything. It ruined everything for me. Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Jeez,
yeah.
man.
Same reason I didn't. Like, I'll get to it.
Yeah, just
when people aren't like, yo, if you don't watch this, friendship over. Whoa,
like,
man,
wow.
I got stuff going on.
Like, calm down.
This is the only thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but to me, these shows, like, this would be like a fun weekend thing. Like, I could do all this in a weekend.
They're not long. They're real quick. And I'm
super curious to know what you think. Because I've heard I'm not spoilery.
Yeah.
Especially with Star Wars. So I've watched reviews.
Like, you don't care what they're saying.
Yeah,
and I honestly don't even know what I would spoil for you if I talked about this entire show, unless someone is such a diehard Star Wars fan that they're like, I didn't need to know that he did that.
But I think some people are. Because
right.
every time
I'll
I watch
keep it clean.
review,
I'll
people
keep
are
it
like,
clean.
spoiler free.
All right, I'll
like,
keep it
you
clean.
kind of have spoilers in every episode of a Disney Plus show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, just
Maybe
because a character did something, I don't think is necessarily a spoiler, in my opinion. But I could see where people are all sensitive about it. And you know what? If you care that much, watch the damn show.
Yeah.
Watch the damn show if you care that much.
Spoilers should last 3 days after whatever comes
I have
out.
one major issue with this show.
That's good. People
A major
have multiple.
problem. Yeah. Multiple major issues.
Yeah, people are like, oh, this sucks and that sucks.
This show is kind of slow, okay? Like, I get that. I don't mind things. Like, I feel like people correlate slow with not a lot happening on screen. But sometimes things that are not like, it can be intense. It can be slow, but it can be good. Like, I don't necessarily think just because there's not a lot of action on the screen that it's a boring movie.
Correct.
Or a boring show.
Correct.
And there's times where there's just moments. They're just taking a beat so that you can be in the moment. And I'm okay with that. And I know a lot of people probably don't like that. They probably don't want that from a Star Wars show, especially a Star Wars show about Boba Fett, which I absolutely get, because you wanted to tune into a show about a bounty hunter doing bounty hunter shit, and this is not that show. Okay? So I get it. But let's just say it's just a show about a Star Wars character in the Star Wars world. I don't mind it having a slow burn. However, it's not just a gripe about this show.
I really hope it's the same gripe that everybody else has.
Oh, yeah? I'll have to. Well, you can tell me.
Well, I'll tell you if it is.
It's not just a gripe I have with shows with this show.
Yeah.
It's anytime a movie or show does this. But the flashback scenes of this show are really what I think is ruining the tempo. Every time we go back to another cutscene of how... Okay, so in order to explain a motivation of a character, you need to see a character go through something that would then explain why he did something later on, right?
How they got to where they're going.
But what this show does is every episode they say, okay, Boba Fett's going to do a thing. Let me show you the motivation in a flashback. And then we show you why this character is the way he is. I'm trying to think
of another show that does that, but I know what you're saying.
Okay, so I don't know if you ever saw Slumdog Millionaire. Did you ever see Slumdog Millionaire?
When it came out. It's been so long.
Well, you know the premise, right? He's on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show. For every question, they do a flashback of how he knows the answer.
Good example.
And that is a good example of it being done well.
Okay.
How does he know this answer? Let's do a flashback of where he finds this answer. Nobody believes this kid's going to become a millionaire, right? But he knows everything. So I think there's sort of that, like other movies and shows try to do that, but this show is not doing it well. And every time we have a flashback, it's taking me out of it. And what I would have preferred so far, because I think we're 4 episodes in, is I just wish they would tell the story linearly. Like, I don't, like, the whole flashback concept, I am not always a fan of. Like, you don't need to do that all the time. Just all the flashbacks, just make that your first season, right? And then just move on to the other stuff. Yeah. And I think people would have appreciated that more. Don't try to justify the actions in the episode by giving me a flashback, because it feels sort of spoon-fed, and it feels like it just doesn't feel like I'm a part of the journey. It feels like you're telling me a story versus me actually being so into the show itself. I don't feel like I'm involved. And I'm like, just don't do the flashbacks.
So is it like you're like, oh, this is a good episode, oh, flashback, like I was into it, and then you took me out of it. Now I gotta try to get back into it.
Well, and it's getting worse and worse, because as the current time stuff progresses, that's getting more interesting, right? And the
past stuff you don't care about.
Right. So the past stuff I'm caring less about, and the current time stuff I'm like, oh, this is getting juicy. Like, we don't need to be there anymore. You could have done this in the first 2 episodes, and then you could have started off in the
but they're doing
modern
it
times.
every episode.
Yeah. And I'm like, and that's what's kind of taking me out. So it's taking me out of it. These little flashback moments. And I think you brought up flashbacks on another movie too that were slowing it down, but I can't remember.
Well, now that I was thinking about it, another show that did it was Arrow.
Oh yeah, Arrow does that a lot too.
But it wasn't. Like, I felt like they were very frequent, but like they were needed for that show.
Well, it's because
kind of like Slumdog Millionaire, like Arrow would flashback like, oh, how did he gain that skill or do this?
Right.
And then it does the flashback. I'm like, oh, cool. Now I get it.
And they introduced bad guys, and then they flash back and tell you like how Arrow had a rumbling with them before.
Correct.
Right.
So it makes sense, but Arrow did them like really frequently, like a couple, few, 3-4 times an episode. And I'm like, oh, this is a lot.
But I think about like if the Dark Knight, like if Batman Begins didn't exist and they made the Dark Knight,
like the first one.
Yeah, that was the first movie, but they just did these flashbacks to when he was part of A League of Shadows, right?
Yeah.
And then like that's what Boba Fett feels like. It feels like they didn't make a Batman Begins. It feels like they just skipped over to the Dark Knight, and they're giving us flashbacks to Batman Begins.
Now I can see why that's annoying.
And that's where I'm like, but you could have just made Batman Begins, and then made the Dark Knight. Yeah, like just do it that way.
So you're gonna stick with it. You're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. The thing is, it's not like I don't think it's a bad show.
2 more episodes, right?
Yeah, or 3. 6 or 7, I forget. It's the thing is, I'm not having a bad time, because what I'm watching is still really cool. You know, I'm watching a Wookiee. Spoiler.
Yeah, no,
I'm watching a Wookiee rip a person's arm off. Right, like this is a cool thing to still watch, and I'm enjoying it. I'm seeing a bunch of fun Star Warsy stuff, and so I'm like, yeah, it's still a good time. I just to make it a good show for anybody, I think it would have had to have these other elements.
So then Mandalorian's way better.
Yeah. I love Mandalorian.
Okay.
But again, it's still kind of a slow burn, but it's not.
So would you say you have to be a pretty big Star Wars fan to care about this show?
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I'm like in that category.
There's a lot of.
Like I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that I'm like a diehard.
Yeah.
Like I know what's going on. I know stories. I know characters.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. And that was a big reason I never jumped on Mandalorian right away.
Mandalorian is a new character that I think you don't have to be a Star Wars fan to appreciate.
Okay. So
right? There's a lot of callbacks in Boba Fett. Like a lot of like.
Which I would probably get. Like,
yeah, you would.
Oh,
they're big.
Cool.
They're big ones. They're not like lost on you if you are just a general like casual Star Wars viewer, because it's just it's like Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett, Tusken Raiders. It's like there's things that Wookiees like you know what those things are. Yeah, you understand, and so you don't have to be a diehard Star Wars fan to understand what's happening.
Okay.
But do you need to be to appreciate what's going on?
Yeah.
Man, maybe. And I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan either. Maybe that's why it's not lost on me.
I mean, and that's a whole separate conversation, but like what it means to be like a diehard.
Have I done anything besides watch movies and shows? No. I have not done, I don't read the books. I don't read the comics.
So what would you say you are a diehard fan of? Like you're like, yo,
that's a great question.
Like whatever, like
I know all the history of.
See, but not even that. I mean, because like you could be, like, God, gotta be. I'm always very nervous when I say stuff, but I feel like there's people out there that are like diehard fans of like The Bachelor. Like every Thursday, the crew 7:30, same bot, like this. Yeah. Like that, you're a diehard fan. If you have season tickets to a sports team, like you're a diehard fan. Yeah. I don't know who coached in 1993,
right?
But like I'm going to every game, every season. I know all the current play. Like that, to me, you'd be a diehard fan.
Yeah.
So like, is there like a franchise or something now that you're like, I'm watching it. I don't care. Like I don't like just 100%.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I get on a lot of these bandwagons just sort of as like a film fan, right?
Yeah.
Like I was deep into Game of Thrones, and I'm excited for the next one, but I was sort of like a fan moving forward, right? I was never a fan of the books.
I didn't read all the books.
I don't read.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. But I'm like, I don't know. Can I be like a fan now moving forward of something? Like,
I think that's the point, is these people want to create new fans for stuff.
Right. And so,
but like if you started watching Mandalorian and started watching Boba Fett, but you haven't seen any other Star Wars movies because this is your first introduction to it, could you say you're a diehard fan of Star Wars?
That's a good question. No, I don't think you could.
I don't think you could, right?
I don't think you could. I think you have to watch the movies, at least.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Because then you wouldn't know what's going on.
Yeah. Like do the timeline, right? Like if I jumped in right now to start watching MCU movies, could I call myself a MCU fan if I didn't watch anything previous to what's coming out this year?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. You gotta at least get on the same
I would
medium.
say you're a hardcore Star Wars fan.
You're saying I am?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like you would classify me as
we'd probably have to define hardcore and define
like
what was the other word I used? Die hard.
Like if I took a Star Wars quiz, I think I would probably pass.
That's a great example.
You know, like I wouldn't get
answer 90 out of 100 questions correct. Could you get an A?
I don't think I could get an A. I don't think I could. I think I get a B.
I probably could.
You think so? I think I get a B.
That's the thing. Like for me, I don't know what I would get an
A on. Friends.
No idea.
I get an A on Friends.
Yeah, like could you say like a hardcore
Big Bang,
Friends fan?
Family Guy.
I could probably do it for Family Guy.
Yeah, maybe.
But do I know all the writers? No. I mean, I probably know like the main 3 or 4.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see where I would just I probably just know a lot about Star Wars just because
you've seen them all or seen them multiple times.
Yeah, like just being alive long enough has like allowed me to absorb more information about Star Wars than anything else.
So I'll have to decide if I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I'm a big time fan.
I don't know if I should. Yeah, don't start with Boba Fett. I tell you that much.
No, I'd start with Mandalorian.
Like Obi-Wan's coming out. Like,
see, like
that's going to be cool.
Yeah, like that I'm more excited
like that
for.
I think is going to be awesome because it's hard when you're talking to someone about Star Wars because what's the first thing you think about when I say Star Wars?
Darth Maul.
Okay.
Real? That's like
it's a great example.
The first, like, someone's like, "Oh, are you Star Wars fan?" I'm like, "Oh, Darth Maul was dope."
There is not a lightsaber and there is not a force sensitive individual in this show as of right now.
Really?
Right? So the force is not mentioned. There's no lightsabers mentioned. So the stuff that you probably, and not just you specifically, but people in general probably think about when they think Star Wars is not in this show.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a great example.
So there you go.
I'll get to it.
Boba Fett, everybody.
I'll get to it eventually.
Book of Boba. Yeah.
When things if things ever slow down, which that'll never happen.
No, not at all. I feel like if I miss something, I'm like, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone forever.
And now I'm only like trying to watch current stuff.
It's hard enough to keep up.
Like movies and shows. I'm trying to watch the ones that are going to be released this year.
It's hard, man. I can't.
I got 3 movies down so far.
Okay, I'll give you another example of this situation, though. I don't know if you saw the trailer to the Lord of the Rings show coming out on Amazon. Have you seen Lord of the Rings movies?
Again,
Okay.
so long ago
Exactly.
when I didn't have an appreciation.
Me too.
And I know everyone's like, oh, that's
the best thing ever.
what cinema's based off of. Like, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
It's just been a while, like, since I've sat down and watched them.
It's like, hey, if I'm like, hey, I need you to sit down and watch 10 hours. It's not even 10 hours anymore, because now if I include The Hobbit, there's another 3 movies there. But if I'm like, hey, I need you to watch 6 movies before you watch this show. And by the way, each one is 3 hours. And you're like, hey, I don't have the time because I'm currently watching these 5 shows over here every week and new release movies that are coming out. It would be very difficult for you to be like, hey, let's go watch 18 hours of movie content. And movie content that you already saw, you're just refreshing on. Yeah. Right?
Which movies I see now that I haven't seen in years are different because I understand movies differently now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I was 12, I didn't.
Yeah, you're not like, oh yeah,
care about anything. Yeah. I was like, oh, this little hobbit's guy's cool.
He's going through some stuff.
Yeah, like he's got some issues.
Oh my goodness.
But
he's having a rough go.
I didn't understand the hidden elements of it or like why he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah, you would understand the story more for sure.
And I should do that. So are you gonna watch Lord of the Rings?
I mean, I would like to, but I don't know if I remember enough.
$1.3 billion per episode to make. Like, somebody better watch it.
That's true.
Whatever it costs.
5, I will. 6, I'll watch it. I'll give it. I'll give it.
I feel like those episodes are going to be like over an hour each.
Yeah, right? I feel like they would have to be
like 110 or something.
I feel like they would have to be.
Because they do like that time frame.
Yeah.
Because like a sitcom's like 17 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And then an hour-long show's like 45 to 55.
Yeah, in order to classify.
Yeah, and then it's like 100 or it's like 61 to 90 minutes is like an hour long. Something
you're like I don't know how they classify it, but yeah, I'm sure it's in the higher range. It's probably on the larger.
Better
ones.
be big money. I don't know. I probably won't. I haven't even watched Mandalorian yet.
I know. We'll
Sorry,
see.
world.
Dude, somewhere Nerd's head is exploding right now as we're going from Star Wars to Lord of the Rings.
I know.
Jesus. Like, blasphemy. All right. So one thing we are both watching, although I'm not caught up as much as you. I know.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to. There's 5 out now?
4.
There's still 4? Yeah, 4. So I'm 1 shy. And I know that was the one you were kind of like.
That's the big one,
man. That was the one you were like, man, I started it. I got 10 minutes in.
Okay.
And then that was it.
Okay.
But
initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts of Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, yes. Gotta clarify what we're talking about.
No, geez, we just start talking. We know.
Yeah, we know.
So Peacemaker on HBO Max. Can we just say, I don't know, I mean, we said it before on the show, but man, 0 expectations for this thing. 0.
No, I mean, there was just, at the time, I remember, I'm like, there's too much to watch. I gotta watch a show on a guy I don't even know or care about.
And because of that, I was just looking for one reason to not watch this show.
Yeah.
Like, I put on that first episode, and I'm like, if it's even a little bit boring, I'm not going to continue.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to put my time into this.
But the first episode was so good and I'm not trying to say it's the best show that's on TV right now, but it was surprisingly good because of my low expectation that I will now watch every single episode of this show. I have to. It's so funny.
So much better. It gets so much better.
Every episode has been better.
Yes, every episode is so much better. And it's just ridiculous. Like, it's just over the top, nonsense ridiculous.
That's so awesome, though.
And I needed a break from the Disney scene.
I agree.
I needed a break from the Spidey-Mans and from the Doctor Stranges and the cuteness and the Hello Kitty stuff.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh.
And I just needed some rough, tough, badass action.
And it
has everything.
It does. It's funny.
It's just got a lot, man. And it's so funny. And I don't have a lot of shows like this that I laugh, like belly laugh for.
Yeah.
And I've laughed pretty hard for a lot of this stuff.
Dude, and I
don't know any of these characters.
Me either. And they have conversations that I feel real people have, which is what I think is also interesting me in the show.
Yeah.
It's like these agents. First of all, you're like looking at these agents, and I'm like, man, I feel like they're no better than me. Like,
you're like,
I feel like their skill set is zilch.
Anybody could walk in and do this.
Yeah, like they are not good. And I also like that there's the added element of having Amanda Waller's daughter involved.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Because it's like, yeah, spoilers. That was 2 weeks ago.
That was a long time ago, guys.
And because it's something the audience knows that no one else knows.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
and I kind of like how is that playing out? And there's just some really good plants in this show where I'm like, I don't expect it. I don't expect the show to be funny. I don't expect it to be action packed. John Cena's doing a way better job than I thought he was gonna do.
Yeah, and it's funny thinking about it now. It's like, yo, we didn't give that guy a lick of credit for anything.
Zero.
Because he's never done anything.
Yeah.
He's always been like a mediocre quarterback, like whatever.
We had
he's
no
out there,
faith.
like he's not winning anything.
Yeah,
And then he surprises us. You're like, yo, where have you been at?
starting in the playoffs, and we're like, this team's gonna lose.
Yeah, this guy's, and then he's over here winning it.
Like absolutely no faith.
It's funny to be
No
like,
faith.
dude, good for like. Now I want to see you do more
I'm
stuff.
happy
Like
for
do
him.
more stuff. Like Vigilante is hilarious.
Yes,
I think he's so
so
funny, and that's why I really hope you got through episode 4.
Well, so I got through the
'Cause I'm
conversation of them in the car.
No, you're
No?
not there yet.
No?
You're not there yet.
But again, I'm like,
You're
that's
not there.
no.
I think about that scene when I go to sleep at night. It's just great. It's so good.
Jeez, man.
And it's funny
Okay.
because one of my buddies was watching. He's like, "You saw the scene?" I was like, "I saw this. Like I watched it 6 times." I was like, "I know. I
Oh
watch
my
it every morning."
gosh! And I got to go home and watch it.
And I'm like, "Dear God."
I'm so
It's
upset.
just like that scene for me moved him into like this is my favorite
Next
character.
category.
Like he's
Peacemaker.
my favorite. No,
Oh, Vigilante. Oh, okay.
Like he's my favorite
He's
character
so funny
on the show
man.
at the moment.
He's hilarious.
Because it's not like he's trying to be funny. That's just like who he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And when people try to be funny and when they write characters in that way, and I'm like, you're not. Dude, you're just like annoying. Like you're being annoying right now.
Right.
But he's
right.
like legitimately funny because it's probably how this guy like actually acts.
Well, and the reason why I like that car scene when the Vigilante turns to Peacemaker and he's like, I just want to thank you for letting me get tortured and making me a better character, a better person.
It's like it really it's going to shape me in the future.
But I was like, man, I feel that this is, first of all, a conversation that would actually happen between two people.
Yeah.
Peacemaker's like, I feel like you're upset.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's like something's going on here.
He's like, no, I'm
No,
fine.
I'm good.
I'm happy.
I'm really glad you let my toe almost get cut off. And I'm just like, I just buy that conversation 100%.
Yeah.
But I also buy that Vigilante's been doing that to himself his whole life, which has slowly driven him insane.
Yeah.
Like-
I liked when Peacemaker was going to kill the kid and he like couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. And
And
Vigilante's
he's
like,
hey, bud,
yeah, why don't you let me
why
get
don't
in
you,
here?
step aside, I'll go and
But he was so calm about it. Yeah.
and he's like
And he's
firing
like
off.
singing
I
or
was like,
something.
Whoa,
right?
yeah.
He's
He's
like- or he's like, yeah.
I don't know if
yeah,
he was whistling
yeah,
or what he was
something.
doing.
Yeah, he's like doing a
and
jingle.
I'm like, yo, this guy's insane.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the characters. I do think that, at least from what I'm seeing right now, I can't picture other people in these roles, right? Which I think is always a testament to whether or not they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Who's going to play Peacemaker besides John Cena right now? It's like
I mean, John Cena's just a mountain.
yeah,
That
he's a
guy's huge.
big dude, but he's
That
he's
guy's a
funny.
big guy.
He is funny though. As he's doing Peacemaker,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying him in that character role.
And this
so.
is a 6 episoder?
Oh, I don't know.
8?
If that's the case, we're like,
I mean, we're almost done.
we're almost there.
But like this, I can say the first show that I've seen recently, I'm like, I'll go around 2.
oh,
season 2.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Which is
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
big,
Yeah,
because
for
I
sure.
didn't want like season 2 for any of these shows.
For anything you've seen so far.
No, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, keep like, it's because I personally think, and anybody will make this argument, there's so much to do here.
Yo,
Like
my
there's
God,
more laughs
yeah.
to be had, there's more adventures to go on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just didn't feel that with any of the other shows. And maybe because they wrapped them up so nicely.
Maybe.
And maybe they'll do that with Peacemaker. Be like, oh, that's pretty satisfying. Like, I don't
You don't need to move
I don't
on.
need to keep going
Well,
with this.
and I've never actually, I do think wanting more is always a good sign, but I've also have not wanted other big names in the show. Like at no point have I thought, man, I wish Harley Quinn was here.
No,
or like
not at
at no
all.
point I'm like, oh, they're gonna introduce just like Batman in like a quick thing. Like they mention him like in a sentence, but it's like, are they?
Was it when he was walking up to the house?
I think so, like a cape. Yeah,
Yeah.
someone.
He's like, Batman's a little bitch. Like,
Yeah,
I'll kill that guy.
Yeah, like something like that, right? And but I'm like, I'm not longing for more bigger name characters in this show.
True. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
And I think that's
the
also
flashbacks
like,
were nice.
the flashbacks of
to when he killed Rick Flag.
Oh
Like,
yeah, in the
like-
first episode, they're like, or second episode, they're
Something like that.
they
When,
like set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a nice like call. Just
It's just a good show, and
It
it's
is.
just like fun. Like this is
fun.
like a Friday night show.
It's a fun time.
Like this is a Friday night show that you would watch. So I'm here for it. I want to see more. I'm watching it every Wednesday morning when it comes out. Thursday morning,
oh, okay.
something like that. So I'm gonna do them like right as they come out.
Interesting.
It's like now I just gotta know what happens.
I know. And now I gotta go watch episode 4.
Episode 4, big cliffhanger.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I'll flip around.
Dang it.
Turned everything upside down. It's like, now I gotta know what's gonna happen.
All right. I'll go check out episode 4 tonight then, and then we'll just pick it up. And well, next time we have this conversation, it'll be done.
Yeah,
so
it'll
we'll
be done. So
we'll
do a wrap up.
Peacemaker so we can give our full review on that. But so far, so good. Loving it.
Good deal.
What is next? I have no idea what's coming out.
Moonfall.
No, Moon Knight.
Moonfall.
Oh, Moonfall.
Moonfall.
Yeah. Dang.
I'm going to Moonfall.
I forgot about Moonfall.
I had like no intentions of watching Moonfall when I first saw the trailer.
Hey.
I'm like, all right. And then everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
I gotta go see Moonfall.
We'll
gotta go see Moon Knight.
Gotta go see
I'm
Moonfall.
gonna watch Moon Knight.
I did not want to watch Moonfall at all.
Yeah.
At all. Because I think I wanted it to be one thing, and it became, I think I was telling you, like, oh, Moonfall was like how crazy would it be if the moon fell into the earth, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but
oh my
then
gosh.
they go into
But
the
then,
moon.
then there's like
I'm
aliens
I'd rather
involved.
the moon like
Then
come-
then there's,
sorry.
yeah.
So I'm gonna watch Moonfall.
All right.
I'm gonna watch Death on the Nile.
Oh, yeah. I gotta watch Death on the Nile.
Um,
Moon Knight trailer? What'd you think?
I really, really liked it. Which I guess people didn't. I don't know. I have no idea who this guy is. I have no
Me
idea
either.
who this guy is.
I thought it
But
was so
the
good.
hardcore fans are like, well, we don't know which version this person is. I was like, I don't know.
I don't even know what
I don't
you're
know.
saying.
I don't know the one. I don't know that there were different versions of him.
So the only thing that
So
I
I'm like,
caught
okay.
on to is that it's a guy, because I'm with you. I have no idea what's going on.
No,
but this
zero.
guy has multiple personalities, apparently, right? And one of
Yes.
those personalities is Moon Knight that I am aware of.
Yes.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
But I
on
guess
board.
Yeah, in a different version,
I'm
he,
on
like,
board.
Was only 2 different people.
Oh.
One version, he has like 29 different versions.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Okay.
Again, there's 1% of people that know who this
Yeah.
is. So don't anybody come at me. Oh, well, let me tell you. Like, you don't know.
You're
who
not a
Moon Knight
giant,
is.
huge mega fan of
Shut-
Moon
like,
Knight?
You don't know who Moon Knight is. You don't know. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you don't.
unless you've been in the game for many, many years.
Did you collect all the
Yeah.
comics with Moon Knight in it?
Yeah, like,
Just like,
don't
no.
tell me you're a fan. I'm not going to believe you.
Yeah.
But like, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Oscar
me
Isaac,
too.
it looks cool. It looks exciting. And I was talking to my boss about it, and he's like, "Hey, I'm really excited for this show."
Right.
He's like, "But here's what they're gonna do, or here's what I'm afraid
This is
of."
a prediction that
Yeah.
he's making?
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay," and it's a problem I've had forever, and I didn't even think about it with this show. He's
Dang.
like, I didn't even think about it, and it's my biggest gripe. Is he's like, wow, it looks dark and gritty, like, you know, we're gonna get like a new version, like, and he's like, and they're just gonna Disney it up like crazy.
Oh.
And it's gonna be childish, and it's not gonna be dark, and it's just gonna be lame.
Yeah. It'll be
Like
humor.
This, yeah,
It'll be,
like this thing that should be cool and exciting. It's like got multiple personalities, goes out at night. It's like whatever. Like we're all excited, right? And then it's like it's just gonna be another Disney Plus show. And I like
That's a good
I didn't
point.
catch on that because
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I had the same thing. I was like, whoa, this is kind of dark, yo. It's kind of like weird demon thing he's beating the shit out of. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, let's go. It's got my interest.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I could see that.
Like it's gonna be really Disney.
You know those things that you think about when you're like, no, I don't think companies are actually that manipulative. I don't think there's like some like puppeteer playing, pulling the strings, and you're like, there's just no way. But what did you think about when Moon Knight was beating the hell out of that demon?
I was like, whoa, we're gonna get a gritty.
Did any other images in your brain come up? I'm just curious.
I mean, not that I recall.
No, when he's like beating the crap of that demon.
They show the demon, and then he's in the hallway.
Yeah, and he's just. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe we'll get
okay,
like a dark, scary.
Okay, so this is what this. So the reason why I'm asking is because as soon as I saw that, the first thing I thought of was the Batman. I was like, right off the bat, I was like, oh.
Like the Robert Pattinson Batman or just the character Batman?
No, the Batman.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah, the Batman trailer that we got where Robert Pattinson's doing the same thing. Right?
Okay.
And he's beating the hell out of that goon, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but I doubt somebody saw that and said, let's copy this over here so that people find us gritty also. Like, what's the easiest way to be gritty? Show somebody beating the hell out of somebody with their bare fists.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the first thing I thought of, was like, did they do that intentionally to make us believe that it is a gritty show?
Maybe.
And it's not, and like that was the easiest hook.
It got me.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, now I think this show is gritty.
But then everyone's like, it's a Disney show.
Right. But all they had to do was just give you the impression that he's beating the hell out of somebody.
There's
with
been
his
one
bare
moment
knuckles.
in I guess the Disney Plus series that I was like, that was fucked up.
In the Disney Plus series?
Yes, and it was in Falcon and Winter Soldier with the shield.
That's true.
And I'm like, my God, I've never seen
decapitate
in a Marvel project.
Like practically.
And I go so back and forth with it because I get it. It has to be family friendly. It is Disney Plus. This is the same streaming service that has Cinderella on it.
Right.
And Beauty of, like, I get that. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody getting their face pulled. I don't know if I have a problem. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
You should go see someone about that.
I should probably talk to somebody, but to me, why I like comic books and superhero movies, and that's why I like this stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Because this world is not a real world. It's fake. It's blah, blah, blah. And Marvel tries to make it like, oh, well, what if superheroes really exist? And that's awesome. I love having, and we've had this conversation before, and I love that. But like right now, where I'm at in my life, I just want to see someone get the shit kicked out of them and left on the sidewalk to die.
And that's just what makes you happy.
That's just what I want.
That's what you
and that's
live
why
for.
I'm like, cool, Moon Knight's going to be cool. And then after someone explained it to me, they're like, dude.
You're like, it ain't going to be that, though.
Slow your roll. Like, no.
You're like, Moon Knight's not going to rip someone's head off?
No, absolutely
not. Like, no, man.
And I
hate to break it to you, but no.
That's just where I'm at.
You're not even going to see, like,
you won't even see blood.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to see anything like that.
Like I said, something's probably wrong with me. But that's why when I saw Peacemaker, I'm like,
this is what I wanted.
Fuck yeah. Like, let's go.
Let's do this.
This guy got a pet eagle.
Yeah.
All right?
Eagly. We didn't even talk about Eagly.
Eagly,
man. God.
This guy's got a pet eagle.
He's hugging me. He's hugging me. Yeah.
And it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
But it's funny.
We're not even going to talk about that intro?
I know. The dance.
So good, or no?
But it's, because you're talking, I mean, you tell me you watch that intro and tell me you're not set up for the show, right? That's the best part about that intro.
You know what this show is.
You know exactly. You're like, if you sat there and you watched that intro and you just kind of smiled a little bit and you were like, that was dumb.
Yeah.
It's going to be that in the whole show.
It was
and it's
great.
Just awesome.
And that's just what I needed right now. The Spider-Man hype was so long.
Yeah, it was.
Like, everything was just so long. And I was hoping the Batman would be rated R. It doesn't need to be. But, like, I'm ready for, I guess, after long consideration and wrestling with my feelings, I guess I am ready for 2 hour 45 plus credit 3 hour long movie of Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah. It's taken me a long time to get on board with this movie.
That's true. It has.
It's taken me a long time.
I mean, and we go back years.
Couple of years.
Years.
So for me, finally, I'm like, all right.
Like when Ben Affleck was removed and you were like...
I'm pretty sure one movie, like in that moment, I was like, I'll never watch that movie.
Right. Yeah.
Which again was never gonna stick. Like I'm not. Maybe that's the thing I'm hardcore. Like, all right, I got Batman on my wall. Like maybe that's the thing I'm hardcore about.
Yeah.
But it's we're a month away, a little over a month, and I'm like just now, like
March
watching
4th,
stuff.
right?
I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. Like I'm excited.
Right. I'm excited too.
It took a long time.
I'm excited too. Dude, the 3-hour runtime though, is actually what's giving me pause.
That's way too long. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean we have to.
Long. I think that's way too long.
I want to know if you're gonna entertain me for 3 hours. That's a long time to be sitting in a theater.
Yeah, we don't have time to go down there. But like everyone's already crediting this movie I'm like, it hasn't even out yet.
No.
It's not even out.
I think a lot of people get excited for the 255,
yes,
but I am not.
And everyone's like, we got to start talking about this movie being the best. And I'm like, it's not even out. And again, go back in other episodes. Like I already talked about it. But like the same thing with sports teams. Oh. Like people are like,
they're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
The Super Bowl ends are like, next year? So-and-so's win. Next year?
How do you know?
What do you mean they're winning it?
Yeah.
That's a year from, you have no idea. And it's the same, they did that with the Batman. Like, this movie is without going to be the best Batman we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's way better than, and you haven't even seen it yet. How could you possibly say that?
Right.
How could you go to a restaurant and say, this is going to be the best meal you haven't even looked at the menu for the restaurant you're going to eat at.
Yeah.
How could you possibly say it's going to be the best meal you've ever had?
You have
just
zero
because you saw a picture of it on the internet.
Right.
And say, this is going to be the best rib basket ever. Like dude, like that
you have
to me,
no clue.
You don't even know. And if it is, then it is.
Yeah.
Then they made a great one. Again, still not on board with like a lot of this, but like I'm going as a Batman fan.
Yeah, I think the best thing that you can do is
and if it's great, I'll come on and I'll eat my words. And because I'm not gonna come on here and be like, it was all right when it was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, be fair to it.
Yeah, I gotta be fair. But I'm being fair in the same sense where
on both sides of it.
If it's the greatest thing, I'm gonna have to come in and be like, "Hey guys, this movie was the greatest thing I've ever seen," and I didn't believe that.
And Robert Pattinson was the greatest.
If it's a shit movie and they're like, "This was stupid," like they gave us 3 hours of trying to be gritty and trying to be, and it sucked, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck, told you." So I guess we'll just have to see which version
you get. Which version of Diego do you get the next day?
I'm gonna get the told you. I'm sorry. I just wanted to come on here to let everybody know that I shouldn't have said what I said.
Yeah, the Batman was great,
and I hope it is.
I hope it is too. Movie. Yeah, the thing is, I don't want to give the wrong impression that I'm not hopeful, but
I hope it is a good movie.
But I just think that again, for those that maybe don't follow along, need to realize that there were a lot of things in play here that were making people skeptical, and if you're following along with the story from the beginning, I think it's understandable for people to be cautious when they're going into this movie. And then, but my point was that I was already cautious, and then you dropped the 255 runtime on me, and that's just too long.
I wish I had that text I sent to you, like in 2019, about how I felt about Matt Reeves and everything. I don't know if you remember that.
I do, but I don't
sent you this
either.
big thing about Matt Reeves and how I like my conspiracy theory behind it.
Right.
Because that text had some good info in there. That has some good intel.
Yeah.
And it was just what I believed.
This is what he wanted all along.
Correct. Yeah. And I'm like, everyone has a conspiracy for something, but this has been my biggest conspiracy theory. And from the very beginning, I'm like, this was so... Like, they had a plan to get rid of Ben Affleck. They had a plan to stop all this.
Yeah.
They had a plan to make sure, like... That's just was my conspiracy theory for everything.
Yeah.
And most people would think it's stupid, but I wish I still had that text.
But that's what I'm saying, that you're like, hey, I know people are like, no, there's not some puppeteer back there pulling strings. And you're kind of like, I think there is. I think there's someone there who's thinking up all these things.
It's for a lot of stuff. We'll do a tech episode.
Yeah.
But,
no kidding.
But there's some people out there that I think, just conversations that I've had with people recently revolving around tech and certain phones and things and watches that we wear. People are like, yeah, I don't want to, but like I don't want to buy this product, but like I have to. And I'm like, I keep having these like not frequently, but I've had it with a couple different people. Like, yeah, dude, if I I really want to buy this one, but like I have to buy this one.
I know what you're.
I don't have a choice anymore.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a choice?
I know what you're saying.
And everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to say it, and I'm not going to say it.
No, you don't have to say it.
But I had this conversation with somebody. They're like, dude, I really want this, but I can't.
But I
have to buy this.
Dude, I've been having that conversation for like 7 years.
And I'm like, okay, that's like interesting. And then
7
somebody
years.
else came in and I had that conversation with them. And
it'll happen forever.
They're like, I don't have a choice.
It'll happen forever.
Like, whoa, puppeteer.
Yeah.
Very
somebody pulling the strings.
Very scary that somebody
strings.
wants to do something, but they feel like they're trapped and they can't do it. Like, this is my only option. And like I said, I would have ignored it, but I've had it a few variations recently. And I'm like, that's kind of creepy.
It is.
I was like, that's really like a scary thing.
A brainwashing effect going
scary,
on. It's
but whatever. It's another episode, another day. Peacemaker, Eagly.
So fun.
Great. Batman coming up.
Yeah.
I got 3 movies down for the year so far.
What was so the
Tender
Bar,
Scream, and I watched a movie on Hulu last night called Sex Appeal. And it fucking sucked.
Oh.
It was so bad.
Why did I feel like that? Like I've seen that.
It's because it was like everywhere.
I was gonna say I feel like I've seen that.
It was like
poster.
11 o'clock last night, and I'm like, I'm not ready for. Like I need to watch something. Like I'm awake, and I watched it, and the main character was like just a truly awful person.
Oh my god!
Just a truly terrible person. So at the end of it, I'm like, oh, the guy's gonna like give in and like they're gonna get together, and he's like, oh, I've always loved you, and the guy's like, fuck no, I'm out. And I was like, yo, that never happens. So basically, the girl he's like always loved, like finally loves him back, and he's like, no, like all this time I've always liked you, and it's like not now, and he's
it's
like,
all he's ever wanted.
Yeah, it's like it's all I've ever wanted. Like I ruined my life, like I tried everything, and he's like, no, I'm fucking out of here. And then she's like standing there, and I'm like.
You're like,
you did it! This guy did it! Like, good for you, guy. But I'm like, but mostly because she was the most unlikable character.
Oh,
and it was funny because like there's a lot of stuff that made this movie funny. It could have been better.
Gotcha.
But like her character was just awful.
That's a
bummer. It was just awful. I'm like, dang, this movie was like.
It was so close. It was
so close to being like, yo, I was like, not a waste of my. And it wasn't a waste of my time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dang, you guys were really close on a lot of stuff.
And like
to make this movie
like almost a movie to recommend.
Yeah, like I'd have been like, yo, dude, if you need like a funny like teen rom-com, like the high school stuff, like yeah, watch that one.
Dang.
And it was so close, and that's why I was so bummed. But I only got 3, but I mean it's the 25th.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably knock out
I don't
one
have
movie.
one in.
Yeah?
Not
I
one.
mean, it's not
one movie. No, it'll all
you
fall
watched Tender
into.
Bar?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't watch it yet?
No.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick it up. I have shows going on right now because not only am I watching Book of Boba and Peacemaker, I'm also watching And Just Like That, the Sex and the City revival
that's
show.
Big time too.
So
that's big time.
Yeah, I got that going on. I'm still watching Grey's Anatomy. I'm still like, there's like other things happening.
Season 3 too.
I know, man. But again, I'm just like, when am I supposed to do these things? When am I supposed to do these things?
It's too much.
And the only reason I'm not watching Titans season 3 is because nobody's talking about Titans.
It's because it stopped.
Like nobody's like in it right now.
No.
So I'll probably watch it before season 4.
Yeah, like when season 4 gets announced.
Like I'll probably pick up.
Which is funny because season 3 is the best for sure.
You have Titans?
Yeah.
Well, and Doom Patrol is getting better too, right? And so, I
gotta see if Doom Patrol's going top 10 all time for me.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, I'll pick those up again probably right before the next seasons come up. But right now, I got too much.
What I should do is pick up a book.
I talk about this all the time.
Fucking time away from the screen.
We're gonna
have a book club up here pretty soon.
I know. Yeah, we're gonna have some book reviews.
No one's gonna watch that. But like, so today we're doing the Glass Menagerie.
Yeah. No. First of all, people who read books don't watch YouTube.
So those are the people. I don't have a TV in my house. You're like, what's all your furniture pointed at? I mean, I think about it a lot recently. I'm like, dude, maybe just pick up a book.
Maybe just one.
I have that hour, right before you go to bed, I'm like, watch a show or whatever. I'm like, dude, maybe I should be reading a book
pick up a book. That'll probably put you to sleep.
Yeah, like I'll be sleeping great. Not watching Doom Patrol before I go to bed and having graphic nightmares.
Although you're probably gonna read some crazy ass books and be like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna pick up It."
Yeah, Stephen King's It. It's not gonna help.
Yeah, not at all.
But
I don't know, man. We'll see. Well, we have a lot. We have a lot coming up.
There's a lot coming up. We're gonna have some guests coming up here.
That's my plan.
I got a lot of people asking me.
Cool, man.
I'm like,
let's get them on.
What do you want to talk about? I'm like, you pick something. I don't care.
Whatever. Guest choice.
Pick something.
Guest choice. We'll do it.
Watch something.
Let us know.
Read something. Read a book, and then
we'll come talk about it.
We'll have some people.
We'll come and chit chat about it. Yeah, that'll be fun. We have a lot planned for this. We have a lot planned this year for this show.
So what are we doing next? Probably.
For review wise.
Yeah. Probably Peacemaker, and then River on the Nile.
We'll Death on the Nile. Yeah, hopefully.
We'll pick like a Netflix thing.
Yeah. We'll do something.
We'll keep it rolling.
We'll keep the We'll
do a little S22 Ultra review.
I'll be anxious. We'll do a tech episode.
We'll do a tech episode. See what's going on.
All right, guys.
I'm cool with it.
All right. Thanks for watching. Later.